Hi guys, Mark Crossfield here. Just a quick little video talking about chipping. And today I'm going to use my Boditrack. This is a pressure mat that I'm going to stand on, and it's going to show you how my pressure in the ground moves in different ways when I'm actually trying to control the loft of the club. So if you're looking at hitting different kind of chips, I've got a 60-degree lob wedge here. So this is my Vokey lob wedge that I play with. I'm going to show you how I interact with the ground a little bit to try and control the loft if I'm on a course trying to hit some maybe different creative chips. Let's get stuck in. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit two chips. I'm going to hit one lob, so as high as I can, 60 degree from a mat, and then I'm going to hit one where I go in a little lower, which to me would feel like it would kind of skip and then almost check a little bit. I'm going to use Boditrack just to show you as well how my feet are moving on the ground, how my pressure is changing, where I apply pressure through my feet into the ground to try and control loft. So look, I'm going to start with a lob shot. So if I'm going to hit a lob shot, I'm going to try and actually add loft to this club. I'm going to do that two ways. I'm going to twist it around the axis of the shaft, then hold it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the hand a little lower so the face doesn't point off to the right. So I'm going to use twist around the club, around the axis of the shaft, add loft, then drop the handle to point the loft back towards the target. I'm going to put the ball up towards my front foot. I've got a nice wide stance. I feel like I start almost quite even with my pressure in the mat when I start. We'll measure to see exactly where I do start. And I try to make sure I don't have the handle forwards in any way. I actually feel like I'm almost leaning it back. Then what I'm going to do, take quite a big long swing, relatively slow. And I'm going to feel like I'm swinging slightly left across the ball as well. In my head is the feeling I'm going to get. So let's hit a big high lob shot with my 60. Okay, so that was going up really high and would stop on the ground. It wouldn't have much kind of zippy spin, if you like. It would stop more through descent angle, plus it's got a certain element of spin to it as well. Now look, let's just look at another shot then, same club. I'm now going to play a more kind of de-lofted rather than adding loft. I'm going to take a bit of loft off my 60. It's going to go in a bit lower. I'm going to feel like it almost checks a little bit. I'm going to feel like I interact with the ground in a very level way. I don't feel like I want to go down too much. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to have the handle forwards and some turn around the axis of the shaft, which people would call close this way now, so the face doesn't point to the right, because as soon as I push that handle forwards, to me the face just feels like it's going to go to the right. I'm going to turn it around the axis of the shaft. I'm not lowering the handle on this one per se, because I don't feel like I need to compensate for the rightness that I had on the other twist. Ball a little bit more central, feet a bit closer. Again, I feel not even, maybe a little bit more pressure on my left foot when I start, and I feel like I'm going to keep it there and almost move it slightly forward as I go through, as I try to drag that handle through to take the loft off the club. And that's a much more kind of lower, spinnier shot, if you like. So let's look at some of the data of how I played that. I definitely manipulated the loft on those two clubs. It went very different heights. Let's see how I used the Boditrack and the pressure in the ground to try and control the way I delivered some loft. So if we look at the two pressure traces and where the pressure is between left and right, so where I'm pushing into that Boditrack mat lying on the floor, you can see when I played a lob shot that I get certainly not as much pressure over onto the lead foot, the front foot. I leave some back. You can see it really go into the toe of the right foot, heel of the left foot as well. So as I'm rotating my body, what's happening is that pressure is going back through my left hip. I feel as that goes back into my left heel and then out onto my right toe. Still keeps that center of pressure trace in the middle there going straight, because it's evening out as it goes into the toe of the heel of the left foot. But for me, it feels much more diagonal the way I'm moving in that ground. So I feel as I rotate, I'm getting the heel of my left foot in and the toe of my right foot really pushing in. Now when I hit the lower, kind of felt spinnier chip shots to me, that lower launch one handle forwards, what happens is you can see the trace equally goes straight, but it's certainly much more planted on my left foot, and I finish considerably more pressure over onto my left side into the 90%, where it was kind of finishing 80-20, that's after the ball's gone on the lob shot. So really it's about what you might call weight. Weight's a different subject because I haven't got a mat that measures weight. Weight is a force, so we're maybe thinking about that slightly different. But with the pressure in the ground, which feels to me, so in old money, how I'm moving my weight and where I'm moving my weight is what we would say. But where I'm moving my pressure, because I can measure that with this mat, is very different when I'm trying to control different shots with different lofts. Now this is a great way, again, from starting from a position, working back towards impact, helping people to improve their impact by understanding how they're reacting with the ground. There's no real rules to this as well yet. It's still very new, so there's no like right and wrongs, but there are some patterns forming, and I certainly see better chippers doing those kind of patterns, where I certainly see weaker chippers definitely having lots of pressure on that back foot when they're hitting chip shots, and the pressure really moving quite around erratically, not as kind of stable of the moving of that COP, that little dot, that trace line. Something new to think about. There's going to be lots more coming from Boditrack. Hopefully give you some ideas of how you guys are reacting with the ground. It's such a physical thing that you can feel at homes, in your living rooms, even if you're not on a golf course. So I think it could really help you understand how to control club pass, face to pass, things like that. Maybe by thinking not only about controlling those, but also then thinking about how you are touching and reacting and pushing with that ground. Let me know what you think. Post comments down below as always. Thanks for watching. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.